I'm on the platform.
Okay, do you mind sharing your screen?
Yeah, okay. Me share screen.
Yes.
Okay. No problem. You see my screen now?
Yes, yes. So we're still talking about, okay, you weren't in class for the last lesson. We talked about education. So we're still going to deal on education today. Okay, read what you
Okay.
have. Warm up.
Okay, provocative statements. It is hands-on learning what our school must take as a basis. You can get any job without core competencies. What our child should pass when they enter schools is an aptitude test. All we need to have after graduation from school is a set of practical skills.
Okay, so these are provocative statements. It is hands-on learning what our schools must take as basis. I don't know, you weren't in class last week. We did all this vocabularies, hands-on learning, and the rest. Okay, 1.2, mind map brainstorm. Can you open the link? Let's
Yeah,
see
yeah.
what. Oh, it's answers. You wouldn't know because you weren't in last lesson. Just open the link for the answer, and I'm sure you didn't watch it. It's from last lesson. We talked about skills, competence, learning, and aptitude. We had different things under this. We discussed different things under this.
I understand.
Yeah, so maybe you could check up the answer later. Okay, let's move to the next. Okay, yes, this is the answer. Yes,
Okay.
learning by practice, by collaborative, facilitating individual route, learning route, hands-on learning, lifelong learning. These are the things we did, skills, tech skills, skill gap, skills, a shortage of skills, set skills, basic skills, practical skills. We did having aptitude, high or great aptitude, aptitude test, or show aptitude. Then we under competence, we said when people lack competence, we have core competence, we have professional competence, we have communicative competence. Some people acquire competence, some people develop their own competence. So these were the things we did in our last lesson. Okay.
Okay. Go to vocabulary, yes.
Yes. Okay.
I start.
Yes.
My daughter is into sports of all of a sudden and really wants to take tennis lessons.
Okay. So when we say someone is into something, is to be interested in something in a way or in an active way. You are interested in something in an active way. For example, I could say, "Are you into English?" You could say, "Oh yes, I'm into English." It means that you are interested in English in an active way. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, the next one.
I'm taking up cycling to work as a way of getting a bit more exercise.
Okay, so when we take up something, it means to start doing a new activity, to adopt or beginning something new. Do you understand? You're starting up something new. Do you
Yeah,
get? Okay,
yeah.
the next one.
If you have fallen behind the other people in your maths class, you need to get a tutor. Our exam are coming up.
Okay, so to fall behind is to make less progress than others. Do you understand? Your grades are becoming lower. You're making when others are making better progress, you're making less progress. Do you understand? That is what it means to fall behind. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, the next one.
Oh, 1 second, because I write this in my copybook
Okay,
or
okay,
book.
no problem. Okay, I would actually drop it on the platform so you can also check it later.
Yeah, okay, thank you. If you miss a lot of classes, it's very difficult to catch up.
Okay, so to catch up means to improve and reach the same standard as other people. Do you understand?
Yeah,
Trying to meet up with other people. Okay, the next one.
go over your work before you hand it in.
Okay, to check something carefully, practice and repeat something in order to learn it. Do you understand? You're trying to check it carefully that maybe there were no mistakes or something. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, the next one.
Oh, I better read up on this material before I try to teach it tomorrow.
Okay, so it means to study something by reading a lot about it. Do you understand? You don't
Yeah,
just go for maybe something that you want to teach unprepared. You try to read it, go over it, so that when you're explaining it to the people, it will be more understanding. Do you understand?
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I handed my homework in late as usual.
Okay, to hand in or to turn in means to give your finished work to a teacher. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you hand this book out, please?
Okay, it means to give things to the other member of a group. Do you understand? It means to distribute something to another member or group. Do you get?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
I used to copy out all of her favorite recipes onto index card so that I did not have to haul out those heavy cookbooks before each meal.
Okay, to copy out means to write something again exactly as it was written. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Race and she started a degree but dropped it out after only a year.
Okay, so it means when someone drops out, it means leaving school or college without completing your education. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Or without completing your studies. So such a person is usually referred to as a dropout or a school dropout.
Yeah. That's all, yeah.
Okay, I'm coming. Sorry, um I wanted to drop the vocabulary on the group chat.
Yeah, I see this. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, listening. So watch the video and choose 6 problems with schooling system that it's mentioned.
Okay, go starting watch.
Well, we send our children to school to prepare them for the real world, which is changing very, very fast. But our schools haven't changed much for hundreds of years. In fact, thought leaders from around the world agree that the current system of education was designed in the industrial age mainly to churn out factory workers. And this industrial age mentality of mass production and mass control still runs deep in schools. Industrial age values. We educate children by batches and govern their lives by ringing bells. All day long, students do nothing but follow instructions. Sit down. Take out your books. Turn to page 40. Solve problem number 3. Stop talking. At school, you're rewarded for doing exactly what you are told. These are industrial age values that were really important for factory workers. Their success depended on following instructions and doing exactly what they were told. But in today's world, how far can you get by simply following instructions? The modern world values people who can be creative, who can communicate their ideas and collaborate with others. But our children don't get a chance to develop such skills in a system that's based on industrial age values. Lack of autonomy and control. At school, our children experience a complete lack of autonomy and control. Every minute of a child's life is tightly controlled by the system. But in today's world, if you're doing important work, then you're managing your own time. You're making your own decisions regarding what to do and when to do it. But life at school looks very different. The system is sending a dangerous message to our children that they are not in charge of their own lives. They just have to follow whatever is laid down instead of taking charge and making the most of their lives. Experts believe autonomy is incredibly important for children. It's no wonder then that our children are bored and demotivated by school. Can you imagine how you would feel if you were told exactly what to do for every minute of your life? Inauthentic learning. Most of the learning that happens in schools today is not authentic because it relies on memorization and rote learning. The system defines a generic set of knowledge that all children must know. And then, every few months, we measure how much has been retained by administering exams. We know that such learning is not authentic because most of it is gone the day after the exam. Learning can be much deeper and more authentic. It can be so much more than just memorization and retention. But that's the only thing we measure, and test scores are the only thing we value. This has created an extremely unhealthy culture for students, parents, and teachers. Children are going through endless hours of tuitions, staying up all night memorizing useless facts that they will forget very soon. No room for passions and interests. We have an extremely standardized system where each child must learn the same thing at the same time in the same way as everyone else. This doesn't respect the basic fact of being human, that each of us is unique and different in our own way. We all have different passions and interests. And the key to fulfillment in life is to find your passion. But do the schools of today help our children find and develop their passion? There seems to be no room in the current education system for the most important questions in a child's life. What am I good at? What do I want to do in life? How do I fit into this world? The system doesn't seem to care. There are so many greatly talented people who failed in the traditional school system. Fortunately, they were able to overcome these failures, but not everyone can. We have no measure for how much talent, how much potential goes unrecognized in the current system. Differences in how we learn. Each of us is also different in how we learn, in how much time we take to learn something, and what tools and resources work best for us. But the system has no room for such differences. So if you're a bit slow in learning something, you are considered a failure, when all you needed was a bit more time to catch up. Lecturing. In the current system, children are lectured for more than 5 hours a day. But there are a few big problems with lecturing. Sal Khan from Khan Academy calls lecturing a fundamentally dehumanizing experience. 30 kids with fingers on their lips, not allowed to interact with each other. Also, in any given classroom, different students are at different levels of understanding. Now, whatever the teacher does, there are bound to be students who are either bored because they're ahead or confused because they're behind. Because of the internet and digital media, our children have at their fingertips all the information in the world. Technology has made it possible for anyone to learn anything. But for fear of losing control, the system is not leveraging these incredible resources. Our system of education, which evolved in the industrial age, has become outdated and ineffective. If we want to prepare our children for the modern world, if we want learning to be effective and engaging, then there's no doubt that we need to fundamentally change our system of education.
Okay, so what are the 6 problems with schooling system that is mentioned?
Our first problem is factory age value, yeah, industrial.
Yes.
Second, this is autonomy structure.
Autonomy.
Autonomy, yeah.
Yes.
Third, this is, if I don't take mistakes, this is maybe a subject for learn people, such as these people have these people better in history, but he study biology, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Let me explain to you, like from the video we watched. It was actually asking you to choose from these options that we have here, 1 to 11, which are the problems that we face in educational system. For example, one of the problems we face is schools don't teach how to be independent. Do you understand? And don't give students any control. They don't teach students how to be independent. All your entire time is being guided. Everything is being done for you. Do you understand? There is a stipulated time for you to have lessons. Do you understand?
Yeah,
Yes. Okay. Another one is knowledge is passed passively as students just listen to teachers talking. Do you understand? Is that what happens in school? That's what actually also happens when I was in school. The student just listen to teachers, and then you gain the knowledge. So knowledge is passed passively, just like what you and I are doing now. Do you understand?
yeah,
Yes, and then the education system focuses on teaching students so they can pass tests and exams. Am I right?
yeah, of course.
Okay, but you're seeing it in the options, right? Okay, choose another one from the option that you think was part of it.
About what?
Like choose from the options 1 to 11, part of the problems that students face, educational problems in the system. This is where I got the answers from.
Maybe students are not encouraged to be original.
Correct, 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 correct. Okay, another one.
Maybe the schooling system does not give any opportunity to learn work skills.
Okay, schools don't also take into consideration that people learn differently. Do you understand? There are some people that learn faster. Students learn at different pace. Some students learn faster, and while some learn slower. Do you understand? You don't just rush everything and assume that everybody understands on the same pace. You don't assume that everyone is smart. You don't assume that everyone must be on the same pace. Do you understand? Sometimes you have to try to understand your students as a teacher, who learns faster, who learns slower, and you should try to know, why is this person learning faster than the other one? How can we bring up the one who learns in a slow pace to meet up with the standards of those who learn faster? Do you understand?
Yeah,
But our education system do not consider all that. They just bombard students with learning things. They don't care however you are learning it, if the educational environment is conducive or not, or if you're understanding what you're being taught or not. They just believe that once they have passed the knowledge to you in class, they should prepare you to pass your test and examination. Do you get?
Yeah,
Another thing is that the school system teaches people to listen to instructions. Do you understand? You must, in school system, you must always obey school instructions, rules, and regulations. Do you get?
yeah, I get it.
Okay, no problem. So let's move to the next one, debate.
You see my screen?
Yes, yes, yes,
Let's start.
yes. Read
Should
what you
school...
have, the debate topic.
Okay, the topic of the debate. Schools don't teach children the important things they need to know to be adults.
So schools don't teach children the important things they need to know to be adults. So what do you think? Okay, let's look at this guided question. So should school focus? Okay, what's your opinion about that?
Um, I think no, because in my school, our teacher teach our adults for be adults.
Okay, you are being taught how to be adults and the rest. Well, that's really a good school. That's really a good school actually, because it's not common. It's very rare to see schools that invest such in a child's learning. Apart from, sorry, that invest in teaching a child how to become an adult, how to take care of yourself, how the necessary things you need to know in your general life and growth, apart from just academic work. So such school must be a very good school, must be a very productive school. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, the next one. Okay, so should schools focus more on practical life skills such as financial literacy, communication, and problem solving rather than slowly academic subjects? So what do you think?
Maybe this is biology.
You said?
And again, please, your question.
Okay, that's the first question, what we have on the screen.
Should schools focus on important life skills such as financial, literary communication, and problem solution rather than solely academic subject? I think for other people is different because for me, more important academic subject because in future I want go on the chemistry and biology.
Okay, okay, that's great. I also believe everything is just based on, excuse me, everything is based on individual differences. There are people everything, schools should try to incorporate everything in learning. Everything should not just be about academic work. Schools should try to bring in extracurricular activities, try to introduce things like sports, try to teach children how to build financial stability. These are things that should be incorporated in our everyday learning so that as you grow, you don't just grow centering your mind towards academic work, you also grow knowing that these things are necessary in life. I think like in China, they do teach their children all these tech skills and technologies. Do you understand? At a
Yeah,
very early age. At a very early age, they don't just focus on only school work, our academic work. They try to bring in other things so that when a child is growing up, he or she can know where he fits into. There are some people that may not fit into academic work in future. There are people who may fit into computer when they grow older. So this, by incorporating all these things, you try to bring in the attention of every student, of every child, depending on their knowledge and what they are capable of doing. Do you understand?
yeah.
Okay, take the next question.
How can school better prepare students for real-world challenge, such as finding employment, managing personal finance, and maintaining healthy relationship? Maybe school can add some lessons or discuss with teacher about future or profession. Maybe go in another how it be on English? 1 second, please.
Mhm.
Educational institutions. In another is educational institutions, and maybe this is method for taught children about profession.
Okay, yes, that's good. That's a great one because I think too that schools in their curriculum should include real life or real world challenges such as financial employment. It should teach a child different strategies. Do you understand? How can you do something and become successful in life? They should add in all these managerial skills, finances into academic work or into school curriculum. Maybe you set out one day, maybe Fridays for this particular type of lesson. You have Mondays to Thursdays for academic work, and then you set out maybe Fridays for all these kind of skills. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, the next one.
As a certain life skills of topics that should be mandatory in the school curriculum, and is so, if so, which ones and why?
Okay, let me say this says, are there certain life skills or
Ah,
topics that should be mandatory in school curriculum? And if so, which ones and why?
okay. Maybe in school I very want we if we can choose object in our school,
Take that
which
again.
I very want about certain topics that should be mandatory in the school curriculum. This is maybe if I can choose any object which interesting for me. This is
Okay.
maybe for my dream in school.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So I also think that yes, you're right, that certain life skills in or topics should be mandatory in school curriculum, such as I think like personal finances. That's how to manage your money, how not to spend carelessly, how to make something productive out of your resources. Do you get? Such things
Yeah.
should be included in as a daily life activities or should be included in our school curriculum. Okay, the next one.
The next one, this is how can schools strike a balance between academic knowledge and the development of critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, and other essential skills for adulthood. Maybe he can add any lesson about this, about critical thinking and such as type of lesson.
Okay, that's great. So just like I said, in my own opinion, I think schools should maybe set out a particular day, maybe 4 days for academic lessons, and then one day for these other extra skills and learning. Do you get?
Yeah, maybe this is a nice idea.
Yes. Okay, no problem. The last one.
What are the potential drawbacks or challenges of shifting the focus from traditional academic subject to a more comprehensive approach to education?
So what are
Maybe
the drawbacks and what are the disadvantages?
maybe this is because you will live alone. Yeah,
Okay, okay, you tried. I think students will just or students or pupils or children will take advantage. They may want to totally divert from the academic work and now focus on things that are less important to them. Do you understand?
yeah,
Yes. And they will, some of them, maybe when you teach them how to make money, how to manage finances and funds, some of them may just decide, okay, that because of they know the basic skills on how to make money. Of course, why do I need education? Why do I need to go to school? I rather just focus on making money than going to school. Do you understand?
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Agree or to disagree? Yeah.
Yes.
School uniform is essential. I think disagree because I have not uniform in my school and this very nice.
Okay, in my country, school uniform is actually essential until you get to maybe university. But I think I hardly see a school that students do not put on school uniform in my country. They always have to put on school uniform every time and every day. Okay, that's great. If they don't wear in your country, I think it's a beautiful one.
Yeah, because I can wear
One
what
one
I
cloth.
want.
Wear one clothes every day to school.
Yeah, pupils are not given enough homework. Oh no, because in my school I think teacher give two homework for us
Every day or in a week.
every day.
Okay, student, even in my country, I believe that they are given enough homework. The homework is actually okay. Okay, the next one.
Yeah, a good teacher is a strict teacher. I think no. I think good teacher is a honey teacher kind.
Yes, yes, that's beautiful. A good
Smart
teacher is a
teacher.
respect teacher. Yes.
Exam are getting easier. Easy.
Easy,
Maybe
yeah.
yeah, when you pre-teach when you ready for exam. When you ready for exam maybe
Will
yes
be
this
easier
easy.
for you. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, so the next one.
Teachers should receive salary according to exam result. Salary. Oh,
Like their pay. According to if a student fails, the teacher should not be paid much. If a student passes, what do you think?
I think no.
I think no too, because a teacher has done his or her own part by imparting knowledge to the student. It's now left for the student to sit down and study his or her book. There are some students who don't just prepare and come for an examination. So in that case, how is the teacher at fault? The teacher has been able to teach. If there are some people in that class who are doing well and passing the examination, then every student should also be able to work hard to pass an examination. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, the next one.
School should be 3 days a week. I disagree because this is so small time for study.
Yes, it's true. It's a small time. Okay, how many times do you go to school in a week?
5.
That's Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the same thing with in my country. School is for 5 days, and that's good enough for a child to be able to learn. But when you say 3 times, it's too small. It won't be enough to cover up everything a child needs to learn. Okay, the next one.
Education should be free. Of course.
So if
All
it's free, well,
country.
I think that yes, I think that's a beautiful idea. If education is free to encourage people to go to school, do you understand? But how would people be able to get money to sort learning materials? Do you understand? In my own opinion, how will people be able to afford learning materials unless the government chooses to make provision for all this um learning materials? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay,
The,
the next.
yeah. Uh, it, our people should study cookery and sewing.
So, what do you think?
Uh, I think no, because smart people, this is rich people, because this is so spend time, so kids can study cookery at their home.
Yes, that's correct. Children can learn how to cook at home and sewing. If you're learning how to do cookery, maybe just once in a while, maybe baking or something, but not every day. It's not like something would just devote a whole day for. Do you understand? Maybe just 1 hour in a week or 2 hours in a week. It's okay for that. Do you understand?
Yeah,
Okay, no problem. Well done. Move to the next.
this is homework.
Okay, no problem. Thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed the lesson and you understood it.
Yeah,
Yeah, so thank you for your time. The words are the vocabularies we had is also in our homework, so you could try to read it up here, copy it out into your jotter or your notebook. Do you understand? So you could read it up later.
okay.
Yes. All right, no problem. You could try to do your homework when you're free. Wishing you a wonderful and a successful week. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you for the lesson, teacher, and good evening and good night.
All right. Thank you too. Good night. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
See you on Wednesday.